Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another video of ours, the first division video of the season. Delighted to welcome Gavin Woods back on and Keith Ryan. What's the crack, boys? You well?
How's it going?
Hi, Keith. Hi, Keith.
Delighted to be back at Turner's Cross in the Carlisle as such.
Nah.
When I said as such, I was referring to Keith. Well, actually, do you know what? We'll start at the Carlisle while we're there. We'll get it over and done with, I think, Keith, because the finished Bray Wanderers 1, UCD 2. Goals from Kieran Bean on 21 minutes, O'Brien on 40, a late goal from Feeney on 86 minutes after Alex Dunn was actually sent off in the 35th minute. Disappointing enough start, I suppose, Keith, for UCD for Bray, and particularly when, the sending off was on 35 minutes and, they had a long time to get back into the game. They went 2 down, obviously, after that, but how did you find it?
Yeah, after a lot of the hype in pre-season, New Jersey launch, kind of new era. I was expecting better things, but it's like the tactics of last season have just come back the exact same as they were. A lot of sideways football. It's all well and good getting passes in throughout the 90 minutes, but if you're doing nothing in the final third to get even close to a goal, there's no point in it. So I was a little bit surprised on the night. Max Murphy didn't start the game, and Will Guillermo didn't start the game either. Both who had been pretty impressive for us last season. Freddie Turley started as a right wing back. So look, it was disappointing, and that's how the first goal came for UCD. Look, a fine ball over the top, and Bean was in acres of space, absolute acres of space. Now, Jimmy Corcoran would probably be a bit disappointed. The ball squeezed in at the near post as well, so maybe he could have done better.
Were Bray trying to play offside there, Keith, do you think?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. We kind of had a three at the back, three centre halves, Evan Sam, Cantwell, and Humron. But like Turley was just completely out of position. He seemed to be a little bit further up. When they went to 10 men, now I don't think it was a sending off. I think there was cover as such. The referee went straight for his card. It was harsh for me, but I expected Bray to be on top for most of the game, and then literally just switched off for UCD's corner, and it was an easy second for them. And then Bray, second half, Guillermo and Murphy came on. Murphy, my player of the year last season. He played well when he came on, but again, it was sideways football, and we scored in the 86th minute. But like when you're against 10 men, you expect to do that little bit better. And we were chasing the game so late on. Cole went up front from, I think, the 80th minute onwards. We just couldn't find the equaliser, but players were coming off, giving out about the ref and stuff. But, if you can't beat 10 men, or if you can't get anything, even a draw against 10 men, you have no excuses. So, well-deserved UCD. Can I just say Ronan Finn, absolutely fantastic. Everyone knows him.
Was he midfield, Keith, yeah?
Midfield, then he went to right back in the second half because they were kind of closing up shop with the sending off. So everything went through in the first half, but fully deserved win for UCD, and they play a really, really nice brand of football still.
You see them as a contender? I know it's early to say one game, but did you see something more from them than maybe you thought? Or
yeah, I did. I said to Ush last week in the preview that not a lot of people know UCD, so they did hang on to a couple of players from last season, which is good for them. But I wasn't expecting them to come out and dominate the game as much as they did. Even with the 10 men, they held on to the ball quite well. Bray did have, you could say, chances in the second half, but nothing that really threatened the goalkeeper. He spilled a couple in the second half, and Bray really should have capitalised. But look, who knows? We'll get on to Cork City later, but it's a great start for UCD.
Did any of the new players, maybe from Bray, impress you, or what did you feel on the night?
It was tough to analyse, to be honest with you. The sending off almost killed the game as a contest. But in saying that, with UCD going 2 up, it kind of brought Bray's initiative it up a level, you know, because they obviously needed that 2 goals to get back into the game. Chris Margerson held the ball up quite well for Bray up front. He had a couple of chances in the first half that didn't come off, but you know, as you said already, it's early days. We won't kind of hit the fire drill just yet, but it is a disappointing start.
Yeah, we'll get on to, I suppose, Gavin, Cork City and Kerry FC. And I always smile when I hear that, Cork and Kerry in a football match, a soccer match, I should say, in this context. You know what I mean? Because it's just weird. But Cork obviously winning by 2 goals, so nailed that man Jack Doherty of the goals scoring sheet twice, 2 very good goals as well. But one interesting fact of this game, Gavin, as well, is that 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old were on the pitch for Cork City, which is just incredible. And I hear Cottle O'Sullivan was excellent for Cork City as well. And it just shows, Keith's clapping there, but the Academy of Cork has been brilliant. We've seen the likes of Jake O'Brien and that go on to Leon now and other players. And look, it's fantastic to see. And they've obviously brought experience in, as we know, with the likes of Jack and Sean Murray and Bolger and that. But they're very aware, and I've seen an interview with Tim Clancy who seems very aware how good the academy players are too. So nice mix there, possibly.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I was shocked, you know, because you know it was funny because as much as I'm going out to the cross, you know, you're looking at the team sheet and we're like, who's he now, and where did he get him from, and where's he playing? You know, because we literally were like, who's this guy Harry Nevin, or you know, who's Cathal O'Sullivan, or where did these lads?
Where did we sign them from?
Yeah, where did they come from? Like, you know, did they just come out of the crowd there a while ago or something? But, you know, Cathal O'Sullivan, to be fair to him, like, you know, like my small fella Ryan wanted a picture with him afterwards, and Ryan looked older than him and he was half his age, you know what I mean? You know, but what a game he had, you know, for a small fella who played on the right, who was left-footed. They just couldn't get the ball off him. It was, you know, it was like he was like the man against the boys, you know. He was like the fella who was able, he just obviously his head, you know, he's got one of these football brains in him that's much older than his actual age. But I think what helped him a lot.
16, actually. Yeah, he's 16.
Yeah.
So he wasn't one of the older ones, teenagers.
Exactly. Well, as in like his head, his like his brain was just, you know, he was a fella in his 20s or whatever. But you know, the great thing about it was that what I liked about what Tim Clancy done was that he obviously played lads that have been, you know, putting it in and training and giving the young fellas. I mean, if you look at it really, like we know Greg Bolger, we know Keane Bargery, we know Dara Crowley, you know, so like it was a complete new midfield, you know, with Aaron Healy, Colin Healy's son in there, and Sean Murray. So I'd never seen Sean Murray before, and I'd only seen a bit of Aaron Healy. So
did Murray play deep, Gavin, actually, or what, was he a deep midfield role?
Because
usually he's more of a attacking. He likes to run into the box and stuff, like, you know.
No, he did do that as well. Yeah. It was more Aaron Healy was doing more of the setting of the two of them, really. And what they done really well between them all was that obviously it was part of the plan, but none of them ever, what I liked about it, and I think what the crowd liked about it, was that it wasn't a static game in terms of movement. You know, City players were everywhere. You know, they were going from left to right. The midfielders were going to the right, to the left. It's like if they said, you know, obviously when you're defending, you know, go 4-5-1 or whatever. But when you're attacking, just go out and enjoy yourself, you know, and just make sure that, you know, when you lose the ball, you get back into shape. But there seemed to be nobody staying in the same position, which was a good thing because there was players running everywhere, and obviously, you know, from that point of view, it made such a huge difference. Like, what's his name right back there? Is it, it was a Harry Nevin, I think was his name, was right back. Guy they got from Preston. I mean, I'm not lying, but the Kerry winger was marking him for the game because he just, as soon as he got the ball, he was gone up the wing. And what it done is it allowed Cathal O'Sullivan to come into the middle. So it was like an extra man in the middle of the park because he was basically like a winger. But it was just, you know, and that's the thing about it. It was great to see because a lot of new faces, a lot of young fellas, a bit of energy, you know, a bit of enthusiasm. And I think that's, like I always said about Cork City crowds, when they go out there, you know, afterwards, that's what people were delighted about. It was the effort, the energy, the enthusiasm, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jack Doherty's goals as well. You must be delighted he's in a Cork jersey now, by the way. But the two goals, I'm not going to lie, even the second goal, I watched about 4 or 5 times. It was the move, you see, as well, wasn't it? It was lovely. Yeah. You were talking about that move, and there was an example of it there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like he picked up the ball and gave it to Nathan Wood, and gave it back to him again. And it was a great dummy and he sold your man and whatever. Like, but Ryan wanted to see him again after the game, so we stayed around. And he said to me himself, he was shocked with the crowd. That's what kind of, he said, he said, I genuinely, he said, when we came out, he said, we didn't know what to do. He said, because they even said that when they went in afterwards, they weren't expecting that sort of crowd. So kind of we're going, what's going on here, But they said it was amazing, and he said it was great. Like, and sure, obviously, as I said, it's great to have him in a Cork City jersey. But as I said, it's 3 years. I've been saying it for 3 years. So it only took 3 years to happen. But I know it's great to have him with us. Look, and he's a lovely fella, and he's a great addition to the team. Like,
no,
massive. I think Keith, one of the bits for that goal, if you look at the turf, when he cuts inside, a bit of the turf actually comes up out of the ground, and it just shows you. I'm not sure if it was from the defender or from him cutting inside, but it was an amazing piece of skill, and he's going to be really, really good for Cork this season.
Yeah, and he's creative as well. See, that's the thing. We'll be talking about him all season, I think, to be honest with you, Gavin. So you're going to enjoy this, you know what I mean? But no, it's fantastic. But I suppose from Kerry's point of view, like, they were 2 down in 26 minutes, Gavin, and from their point of view, you're fearing the worst. You know what I mean? First game of the season, Turner's Cross, big crowd. Kerry brought a big crowd, to be fair to them as well, which was great to see.
Fantastic.
But they obviously dug in a bit. Did they look a better side? I suppose you didn't really see them last season, to be fair, but I did speak to one Cork player. I won't name him here, but I did speak to a Cork player, and he reckons they're a better side than last year. He played in the first division last year, by the way.
Yeah, well, I suppose I said, without being ignorant, I didn't see him at all last year, all myself, obviously, because I've been punished up in the Premier Division. But I think they played well at times. To be fair to them. So even at 2-0, no matter what, it's still a dangerous game, and especially the 2 goals were early in the game. So, any goal back from them, they had chances, they had shots, they just didn't hit them on target, but they, to be fair to them, they put in a shift, they got stuck in, the one thing about them was that you give them his effort, there was no shortage of effort there. So I suppose, look, if they've brought in a couple of players and a couple of new lads there, give them time and things will improve from. But look, they've nothing to lose, and you could, if you were looking at them the other night, you wouldn't say that they were that bad last year. They were that far behind everybody. They didn't look like that sort of a team.
Yeah.
And that's me being honest. That's not me being smart about it,
Yeah, exactly. Finished Athlone Town 3, Wexford FC 0, and they're at it again, Athlone. Van Goyen after 14 minutes, Ibrahim 22, Oakley 37. They have 11 different nationalities at the club now, which is just, I don't know where did they get them from, but I don't know. This is the shock with them. Wexford, I think, did you tip them finish second, Wexford, Keith? And I think I had them second as well. Now they could finish second, But it just shows 3-0 up inside 37 minutes against one of the favourites, let's say, certainly for top 3 in the league. And, I wonder if Wexford were so surprised at these players that they didn't know what to expect, literally, because they didn't see many of these players play. And it's hard for us even now to say how good they are, etc., because they could go out next week and get beaten. They were like that a bit last season, weren't they, as well? But they do tend to find a bit of gold as well. Like last year, Perot, obviously, and he's gone to Drogheda, and I think he might do okay there, for example. So we just don't know what they are, but it's some result for them, Keith.
Yeah, this is definitely the surprise of the weekend. I think many obviously tipped Wexford to be up there, thereabouts. But Athlone, and we've mentioned it multiple times over the last number of seasons, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. Puro was a bit of a jewel last season. Who's to know Ibrahim and Oakley maybe this season. So I must say, though, the three Athlone goals were kind of gimmies. On Wexford's behalf, it was very poor defending. If you look at the corner for the first goal, I'm not sure who was marking Van Geenen, but he just allowed him to get to the ball quicker, and it was really an easy clearance. But obviously Van Geenen's strength came to the fore. And for the other 2 goals for Ibrahim and Oakley, Owen Mason, who was absolutely fantastic for Wexford last season on loan. The first one, he just pushes the ball into play, and Ibrahim puts it away. And then Oakley again, the same. The ball there was a shot taken wide, and he pushed it into an area where he shouldn't be. Should be putting it wide rather than straight back towards the penalty area. Again, what surprised me as well, Aaron Dobbs didn't even get any minutes, whether he's injured or not, and Thomas Alua as well. Only came off the bench, so maybe James Kelly's just finding his feet with his team. You would have thought pre-season he would have found his team, but we'll see. You know, I still think Wexford will be strong this season. Athlone could go next week and lose 6-0. Who knows?
I mean, Gavin, it's hard to judge a club that brings in so many unknown players every season, like, you know, completely unknown. I mean, some of the clubs they got the players from, it's mad how they do it. But as I said, 11 different nationalities is, for League of Ireland standards, madness, isn't it? But it could work for them. This is the point. They've obviously gone down a different route they feel maybe other clubs wouldn't go down. And maybe that's where they're looking to get an advantage as such. You know what I mean?
Well, I suppose, like, you know, foreign players like that obviously want an opportunity and they want to play because they probably feel they're good enough for League of Ireland level. So for them, you know, it's an opportunity for them to, if some of those lads want to develop or go on to bigger things or even get into the Premier Division, that's the way they look at it. If you look, as you say, your example there was Ibrahim up front who got one of the goals, you know, he could end up being the poorer of them this year, you know. So, and fellas like that, they'll want to play. Like, we had this conversation last week there with Ush and Keith saying it last week, but like, you know, we were talking about it in general, Keith, you know, that like a lot of lads, when they have an opportunity to play for a League of Ireland club, like what an opportunity to get. And I know it's only League of Ireland, but that's not the point. The point is you're playing, you know,
Hey, Gavin, don't tell Duffy you're only saying it's only League of Ireland.
I said it last week before he even said it. But you know, no, but it's great. It's great for lads to get an opportunity to play League of Ireland. And we did say this last week, you know, we did, and that's the truth about it, like, you know. So like, if you look, actually going back to, was it Athlone's second goal, Wexford were wide open on the right. And if you look at Bray's first goal, did you see they were very similar in the sense that, you know, there was loads of space on Bray's right-hand side for when your man went down the left, and it was the same for Athlone's second goal. They were very similar goals in the sense that it's like if they only had three at the back, the two teams, and they got caught on that right-hand side. You know, when I looked at the two goals in the preview, I said they looked duplicate of each other, you know. But whatever happened, just got cut out of position, or obviously, as Keith said, just playing three centre-halves at the back, or just playing three at the back, you know. But the goals were very similar in the sense that they were wide open on the right side. Bray were wide open on the right-hand side for conceding, and Wexford were wide open on their right-hand side for that goal as well.
Yeah, it was a brilliant result for Athlone anyway, so it'll be interesting to see their players throughout the season. Treaty United a good start to the 3-1 win at Marketsfield against Cobh Ramblers. Brendan Frahel OG after 20 minutes, a bit unlucky. McKevitt equalises on 52. Keith doesn't think it's unlucky at all. Considine, in fairness, with two very good goals of 58 and 85 minutes. I'll start off with Keith. Yeah, the Frahel OG, go for it.
Oh man, comical when I seen it.
No, I was trying not to smile. I'm not gonna lie.
It's from a throw in.
No, from a throw in to head it in. Yeah.
Is there no communication there? I mean, he literally gets under the ball and heads it back over his goalkeeper.
Especially for someone of his experience, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he's been in the league, and I mentioned him. Gavin will back me up here. I mentioned him last week that it was crucial for Cobh to hang on to players like that, Frahel, Jason Abbott, and stuff. But I couldn't believe it. Like, you know, it's like schoolboy defending.
If I was showing somebody who didn't watch League of Ireland some highlights, I'd be quickly skipping that one. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not showing them that.
Absolutely. I actually couldn't believe it. But look, Cobh got back into the game. They equalised through Matt McKevitt, and you're thinking 1-1. You know, both teams will be thereabouts around each other this season. But a player I liked when he was at Wexford, Thomas Considine, a couple of his goals, like one of the second one, was great build up from. And then Curran plays the ball to him, and it's a great finish. But his first is a cracker as well. And another fantastic thing was the crowd at the Marketsfield. You know, and Duffer was joking with the Waterford guy. But it actually is starting to turn into the greatest league in the world because people are actually getting behind it. Don't be putting your eyes to heaven, Gavin. people are
Just
getting
because Cork
behind it.
aren't in the Premier Division.
Yeah. but it's great to see, and there was 30 odd thousand across the two divisions. So fair play, and hopefully Treaty can keep that level of commitment from their fans this season.
Yeah, Gavin, I mean, Treaty are hard to judge as well because they've obviously come into the league in the last couple of years, and to be honest, have been brilliant for what they've kind of had, let's say, and Tommy Barrett's doing a good job there, but you know, possibility is they could punch again this season. I know a lot of people think Cobh might struggle, including yourselves, I think, but good start for them, though. Very good start for them.
Yeah, and I suppose if you go back to the same fixture, we say, if you were thinking of Cobh had that squad that they had last year going up there for the first game of the season, like it wouldn't be that sort of a result. There's absolutely no way. But like we said, Cobh are basically rebuilding as well. And I mean, you know, unfortunately for Frahil, even if you go back and have a look at that goal again, if you have a look at his defending, he's right up on top of the other defenders and then he drops off 2 or 3 yards and he's free. So how, like,
if he was under pressure or something, but no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't his keeper tell him he was free? Like, you know, wasn't he standing in front of him? Like, that's a complete mix-up of communication. Like, that's down to the keeper really as such. But I mean, you know, that looked bad. But Considine's goal, if you look at that as well, Considine's goal, I think Alec Byrne, the ex-Cobh Cork City player, he won the ball and played the ball into Curran. But if you go back and have a look at that, Cobh had 5 players over in one section of the pitch, and they ended up, you know, having to follow over to the other side. Obviously, you know, Treaty pulled them all across, and then they went over to that side, and you know, it was great play by Treaty. And as you said, like, you know, the good thing about down there, if Treaty can keep up a good crowd and win their home games, you know, they could be the surprise this year. You just never know. And as you said with Tommy Barrett, you know, he hasn't put a foot wrong there. Really, they've been excellent since they came into the League of Ireland.
Yeah, I suppose in a way you saved the best for last on Saturday. Longford Town 2, Finn Harps 3, and I was actually slagging Usheen a little bit. It was 2-0, I think, after 13 minutes with Chris Lyons 2 goals. I knew Usheen had gone down, organised a bus, and I said, have you gone home yet after 13 minutes, you know? But they came back and they got 3 goals, which was just an incredible comeback from Finn Harps, and what a win for them. And Erdogan looked very strong, and certainly in the highlights, he was involved in everything. The goal he scored was all down to him, wasn't it, really, individual play, and he was involved in all the goals, actually. I know they were saying he was involved in the move early for Watson's strike as well, where he flicks the ball back. But for the late winner from Mbulai as well in the 90th minute, there was suspicion of offside. But as I said in commentary, it's actually very hard to see the other side of the pitch. We don't know where the fullback is. But he makes that run, gets a good ball into the box. So he was heavily involved for Finn Harps, and that win is a good sign for them. Longford Town keep be bitterly disappointed to go 2 up at home in the first 13 minutes. And it was good to see Chris Lyons obviously signed from Bray, fit, I suppose, and well, and scoring the 2 goals in the first 13 minutes. But obviously to no avail in the end.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game. I was actually following. I didn't get to watch it. I was following on Flash Score, and it was like, when I seen Longford were 2 up, I just knew that Lyons was going to be involved somehow. It's just one of those things, you know, whether it's superstition with me or whatever. But you know, it must have been a weekend of bad goalkeeping, because for the first goal, the keeper should be tipping the ball over the bar. I mean, it was an easy just tip it over the bar, take the corner. But Lyons obviously was there to pounce for his first for Longford. And then the second, a strike from outside the box. It wasn't the most amazing strike in the world. It's kind of like a daisy cutter.
Yeah.
But it kind of just rolls into the net rather than fizzing in. And Longford are 2 up, you know, and
maybe you have to look at the position of the keeper. He seemed to be very right for some reason. If he was more
I think so.
I don't know.
It was very right. He left too much of that goal open, you know. But did Longford sit back on that 2-goal lead? I don't know. As you said, success. The first goal, was it good skill or was it bad defending from Longford? Because it got past 2 or 3 men. And a bit of both. And the second goal for Harps, Jamie Watson, what a strike. I mean,
again, though, Longford back off. I know you still have to hit it, but they've given him the opportunity. And I always find it frustrates me when I see a whole team almost back off for letting a player shoot from 20 yards. It's possible they can strike it well, like, you know. But look, you can't take anything away from the actual finish, you know. But
absolutely. And then the last minute winner. I had to rewind the video a few times. Is it Shane Elworthy that's playing right full for
Yeah,
Longford?
it is. Yeah.
So he looks further back than the
Mm.
other players in the back four, but it's hard to tell. Obviously, you don't know when the camera angle and stuff like that. But look,
We need
Longford
VAR in the league.
Yeah, keep it away.
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. No way.
Absolutely delighted. So, I mean, fantastic start for Darren Murphy. He obviously had the last couple of games last season, but and again, they brought in a couple of players, you know, and success. Hopefully, he'll be a success for Finn Harps this season.
No comment. Gavin. Yeah, well, Gavin, I'm stumped after that one. So, look, some game, 5 goals. What a comeback for Finn Harps. And the start they needed after, look, it was very disappointing last season under Dave Rogers, wasn't it? So,
yeah, sure. Look, you know, it didn't work out for him. It didn't work out for Dave, and it didn't work out for Finn Harps. You know, so the best thing to do was move him on and that, like, and get in a new manager. But you know, all credit to Finn Harps. You know, especially going down to Longford and being 2-0 down. But like, if you look at success for the first goal, obviously Longford should have probably defended better, but he just showed his strength in holding up the ball. But the player for the second goal, for Watson's goal, if you remember the ball out to the left, there was 2 flicks out there, successive flick, and then there was another flick inside. And as you said, if you like, before he takes the shot, there was 2, I don't know whether they're centre halves or midfielders, but should have were 4 or 5 yards off. And like, wait, again, it's down to communication. You know, you just tell one fella, go and close him down. Did they look at each other and go, you close him down? No, you close him down. You know, just go to the man. Like, but, you know,
you know, the old somebody close him down.
Somebody close him down, yeah. Somebody. And then they look at him, and then they point fingers at each other. Oh, it should have been you. Like, you know, just close the man down. But, you know, you give credit for it. It was a great strike. Oh, fuck, it was a fantastic strike, you know. So, and I suppose, like, as we said there about, Keith was saying about looking back over the video, obviously the right back must have been onside, because obviously the linesman would have seen it. So he must have been onside when the ball was played. He ran from, you see, he runs from the middle and goes in around the back of
it's a bendy run, like, yeah.
Yeah, he makes a bendy run. So, but sure, when he made that run, obviously he was onside then, so he's not offside, you know, even though from us looking at it from the camera view, unfortunately, because we don't have the Sky Sports cameras.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be given the benefit of the doubt anyway there, anything tight.
Play away, you know. So it was a great result for Finn Harps, and obviously Cork City, we've a lovely summery sunshine trip to Ballybuffet this weekend.
You going? Yeah, getting on to that, actually, predictions for Friday. Start with Gavin, actually. Cobh Ramblers in Turner's Cross, actually, this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes a difference to you or what, but they're playing Athlone Town.
Oh, well, actually, it makes a difference from my point of view. I'll probably go to watch it if the weather isn't too bad. Like the pitch, unfortunately, and I suppose
I think most Cork City fans have been Turner's Cross again on Friday.
But that is I've been saying that all the time, because we say that honestly. You'd see there when Cobh playing a Saturday night, if City are playing on a Friday night, you would see City fans go down to watch, because I mean it's only 20 minutes down the road. So I think for people on a Saturday night, obviously we're not going to go to Ballybuffet. Why not go to Turner's Cross and, you know, I haven't seen support Cobh Ramblers, but at least, you know, be there for them anyway. Yeah, watch the football, the game. Why not? Especially when you'll have a game every single week, probably for the next 8 to 10 weeks in Turner's Cross. The only killer, though, Keith, is that the weather, like the pitch was very heavy before even kick-off last Friday night. So obviously, depending on what way the weather is later in the week, but it'd be nice to go out there to watch him. And I don't think it's going to do Cobh any favours, but it'll be an interesting game anyway. And I suppose, look, the most important thing for Cobh is try and get 3 points at home, but Athlone off to a great start, and sure, to be interesting to go to watch Chelsea's second team, aka Athlone.
What score are you saying?
2-1 to Athlone.
2-1 Athlone. Keith.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm gonna go 3-1 Athlone. I think with the start they had last week against Wexford, a fantastic start, and then Cobh obviously struggled down in Treaty. It's a game away from home as such, but it's in Cork. But like, you won't have any Cork City fans, even if they're going to the game. They won't be shouting for Cobh. They'll be shouting for someone else. So, yeah, 3-1 to Athlone. I think looking at how they kind of tore Wexford apart in the first half, I think they'll have too much for Cobh.
Yeah, full house. I'll go 2-1 Athlone. That means they're definitely not winning, lads. So we'll come back to that one. Anyway, Finn Harps and Cork City, Keith and Ballybuffet. And after that win for Finn Harps, interesting game, this one, actually.
Yeah, I said last week to Ush, this time of year going to Ballybuffet, the pitch, it's atrocious at the best of times. But like, if you get any bit of rain, the Thursday or the Friday, it turns into a little bit of a bog, and it won't suit Cork City's passing style. They'll have to play more direct. So in saying that, I think Cork will have a little bit too much for Finn Harps. I think I'm not sure on the injuries, Gavin, whether a couple of the players are back from injury this week. But if Jack Doherty's on form and they're getting the ball to him and they're getting the phases, they're building the phases through him. I think Cork will win. I think Finn Harps will score, but I think Cork will win 3-1.
Gavin?
Being honest, Keith, I'd take a win up there, whether it was 1-0 or 2-1. It's going to be a tough place to go anyway. And I think actually, I think one of the great things as well about City last weekend was that when it needed to be done, it was done very well. But I think Charlie Lyons is a huge plus for Cork City. I think he's a huge loss to Cobh. Delighted to have him with us. So, it obviously complemented with Cian Coleman in the first division, being there. And obviously Charlie Lyons is a left-footed centre half, but he was immense. I know he didn't get the plaudits because all of the attacking play. So I think he's a huge plus for us. So look, I'll take a 1-0. I'll take a 2-1. I'll just take, once we don't lose, but I think it'll be a good result. I think the lads are full of confidence. They're only, as we said, the lads that are playing 16, 17, 18, they don't look at it that way. They probably look at it from a point of view as in I'm 17 and I'm playing League of Ireland football, so I go up and enjoy myself. So, it's great though. It's great for the League of Ireland, best league in the world, but I go for a win anyway.
I'll go for 1-1. How many times can we say that in this video? I'll go for 1-1. I think Harps might scrap for a draw based on the weather mightn't be the best, etc. Because it's not the best at the moment. Might be a bit soft the pitch. Kerry and Bray and Keith. Bray kind of have to. You feel like they have to. It's a weird thing saying your second game of the season, isn't it? But you feel like they do have to go and win this game after not the fact they lost to UCD, but the level of performance more so, wasn't it? Probably.
Yeah, they definitely need to bounce back. And that's the thing. It's probably the perfect game for Ian Ryan to play after such a poor performance last week. Kerry fans won't be happy that I'm saying stuff like that, but I'm fully convinced that Kerry will be the whipping boys again this season. And when you play Kerry 4 times over the course of the season, you're probably looking for 12 points off them. If you don't get anything more than at least 10, you're disappointed. So Bray went down there last season and won comfortably in one game, and then the second game was a little bit closer. So I'm expecting a win. I think Max Murphy will be back in from the start. I think it was kind of a baptism of fire for Freddie Turley last week, despite him being pretty impressive pre-season. So I'm going to go 3-0 Bray. I think Margerson will go off the mark as well for us. So he came off kind of 6-8 minutes the other night. But 3-0 Bray, be comfortable with that, and hopefully a performance put in with the result.
Gavin, what score are you going for here?
I'm going to go 2-1 Bray to be tighter than what Keith thinks, and it's not because of that. I just think going down their first game, and as I said, look, I didn't think they weren't bad against Cork City. They had chances and they put in an effort, but if Bray can show their experience, surely they'll have enough to win it. So I go 2-1 Bray.
I'm going Bray as well, full house. So 2-0 there. Yeah, 2-0 Bray. UCD and Treaty at Belfield, Gavin. Obviously both won their first game, so that adds an extra zip to this one. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, see, I suppose it goes back to what Keith said about UCD as well, even down to 10 men, and they were able to, they were still controlling a lot of the game, away to Bray. And I think that's a huge thing, we said it last week about UCD, no matter what, they've obviously kept players from last year and brought in Ron and Finn, who's superb. So, UCD will be hoping for a win, but Treaty have nothing to lose after getting a great result against Cobh. So I'll go for a 1-1 draw here.
Keith?
Yeah, look, I think UCD will have that little bit more about them against Treaty. like Sean Brennan the other night was fantastic in the middle of the park, and he's such a slight player. You think, oh, he's gonna be nothing, but he gets on the ball and he's passing now. And if he partners up with Ronan Finn in the middle of the park, I think UCD will get closer to the top than we think. But I think they'll have a little bit too much of Treaty. I think the other night Treaty against Cobh, a good result, but it was Cobh. This is UCD. They're after coming down from the Premier. So I think 2-0 UCD. Although Treaty will have a bit of a threat up top, I think UCD will keep them out.
I think UCD will win as well. We got 2-1 UCD. Finally, Wexford and Longford, Keith, at Kerry Park.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Wexford have to bounce back, don't they? Just like Bray have to bounce back. Wexford's James Kelly won't be happy with the result, with the performance, conceding 3 goals. So who knows? Alua might be back in for them. Dobbs might be back in. Aaron Robinson didn't play from the start last week either. So a home game, and the locals are getting behind Wexford as well. Again, they won't be happy with the result, but look, Longford conceded 3 against Harps. So with Wexford firepower, I think if Dobbs starts, if Alua starts, the threat's there for them, and I think they'll have too much for Longford. Chris Lyons might have something to say about that, but I think I'll go 3-1 to Wexford here.
Gavin, Wexford and Longford, have you seen it?
I think Longford will take this one. I think Stephen Henderson will.
The first time.
What did I say again? Jesus Christ!
He's after.
I better put up the. Oh fuck God! I can't think of the word. What was the thing you ran about there, Keith, the other day? The fucking it's got subtitles. The subtitles, Keith. I'll put up the subtitles, Sophia, this time. But I think Longford will do this, Keith. I think the fact they were 2-0 up at home the last, and I think Stephen Henderson will have done a lot of work on that and cut out the stupid mistakes they've made. So I think Longford will beat Wexford, and I'm going to go with 2-1 to Longford.
Yeah, so you went for Longford, Keith. You went with Wexford. I actually genuinely think this might be a draw, and I think it'll be a score draw, actually. I think there's going to be goals in this game, so I'll go 2-2. Keith, are you off to Kerry?
No.
And Gavin's definitely off to Finn Harps to stay with Usheen.
I might actually go to Wexford to watch that game. It's just down the road. So Kerry, I'd love to go. There's no one else to go. So
that's tough,
yeah.
It can be tough. To be fair, it can be tougher away. I think it's tough to get away on a Friday night to get down the country and stuff like that. People are working and stuff. It's very awkward to do, isn't it? But looking forward to the games of the weekend. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be at games. Gavin might be at Cobh. You'll be in Turner's Cross, I should say. Yeah. So he lives there anyway. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on, Gavin and Keith. Subscribe to the channel, guys at home. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a prediction, and see you again. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, lads.